So I find a person here that we also met last year in Baku. It's Mr. Ralph Siegel, and may I call you now Mr. San Marino as well?
No, call me Ralph. It's better. And Mauro.
And we have Mauro here, who is actually the songwriter to the San Marino song this year. You are from Italy?
Yes.
From where?
North of Tuscany, province of Massa Carrara.
So, are you both now San Marino citizens?
No, we are not yet.
But will you be, maybe?
No, we will probably have a few friends there and have a few friends as musicians, and I was there, and a wonderful impression always when I go to San Marino. It's just a very special country, you know. It's a very small one. It's the smallest country.
Do you know when you actually are in San Marino, or you pass?
Yes, yes. It's 35,000 people, but they have some wonderful musicians and especially some great singers. And as you said, we both met in Italy because I live in Italy in the summer many times. My father studied music in Italy, and I was always, since I was a child, I was in Italy, and I speak Italian fluently, and that's how we met also. And then 2 years ago we said, come, let's start write songs together, you know. And I even had no Italian singer, but then we started thinking about who could sing, and then we wrote a song for Adriano Celentano. Wow. And we said, why can't Celentano sing the song? And then he said, Claudio Mori called me and said, oh, he's not going into competition anymore because he. And then we had a singer, and then we sent it to San Marino, and they said, no, it must be San Marino singer. So and then we started working, and then finally, when we had this unlucky time last year in Baku, the next day I said, let's do it one more time.
Yeah, because
she's such a wonderful singer, you know?
She is, and I remember last year you said that this was the last time for you to participate in Eurovision.
We were really very
considering
sad.
the last time.
You know, because last year we wrote a song called Facebook. It was a funny, jokey song, and then we had to take the title off because of branding, which it's like telephone. For us, it was communication, and we wanted to make fun of Facebook. And then we had to change the title. It takes the title. I mean, if you write a song about something and you cannot call it anymore, so we were dead. We were already dead before we started, you know. And then, as I said, then she jumped in because the other singer could not do it, and it was a disaster. But then I met her. She sang in a jazz club there. She sang in a jazz show, and I met this wonderful woman. And the more I met her, the more I loved her, you know. And then I said, "Come, let's try one more time." And then with Mauro, we wrote 6 songs in Italy in August, and in September we produced it in Munich at the time of the Oktoberfest. We made a little party at the Oktoberfest, and then she sang those 2 songs. And then when she sang Chrysalide, I said, well, let's try and send it. So we sent it again, and then we had to wait till January, because meanwhile the jury was only sitting in January, and they had, I think, 50 or 100 songs from everywhere. And then we said, oh God. But I think the good thing was that we wrote in Italian, because it's her mother language.
I think that it's completely
beautiful lyrics.
It's beautiful, even if I don't understand Italian language very well, just a little. It's still something that goes straight into your heart. So it touched me, even if I'm not to the language.
When she sang it, I was also emotional taken. My wife started crying. Really, she said every time she hears it, she starts crying, and I have the same problem too, because what we wrote is something that she feels, you know, and this is very seldom.
And this is something that you only can do when you sing in your own mother language.
And this originally, all the Eurovision people sing in their mother language, you know, and this you feel here. You feel that she sings in her language. He wrote beautiful Italian
But
lyrics.
it's interesting this year because the national languages are coming back. I think it's up to 17 countries or whatever are singing in their national language, which
I think is right, you know.
Icelandic is back.
You sing in your own language, and which is your.
I love that.
So Chrysalide, you had the idea to write the words for it?
Yes.
The song, and Ralph did the music for it?
Well, I wrote the music first.
Okay.
Because my wife always was speaking about transformation. There is a story about transformation. We always change, or we had 12 D&E strings and 12. So I wrote a song called about transformation, whole change. And when I played it to him, he said, that's come una chrysalide. Chrysalide, it's like a butterfly, it's like a chrysalis. I said, yes, let's talk about it. Then he wrote home and wrote his wondrful lyrics.
Did you know that the team was the butterfly by
but we did not know that.
We didn't know that.
The song was finished. It was
he wrote
in
it
August.
in August 2012. We didn't know what would be the
So SVT took your idea basically of having a butterfly's logo.
I think they heard secretly our song and they done that.
No, it was not. It was finished in September. Until Oktoberfest. The song was finished in October. Everything was produced.
But for the words, for the lyrics, what gave you the inspiration to write this nice song?
Allora, it's a strong idea to give a message of transformation, that nothing ends in the reality, but everything is in perpetual transformation. And every time something seems died to become another thing, the new thing that will be born will be much beautiful, much better than before. Nature teaches that because
like a butterfly.
But she transforms from a chrysalis.
The caterpillar, chrysalis, and the caterpillar seems to be dead.
It's life. It's a story of life.
But in fact, it's just waiting a new life that is starting.
And then is this
and then is a red butterfly instead of a little worm in the ground. Will be a beautiful light-colored butterfly that flies. This is a nature that is giving something so beautiful for us that is extremely inspiring to writing a song. This is within the music there was already this idea, and then
and that's why it becomes suddenly quicker and no higher and higher and higher because it flies away.
It's the climax to the
that's
top.
Why it starts very small
story.
and then why it changes.
Fantastic. Ralph, how many songs in your history of writing songs have you written?
Well, I'm 67 years old now. I started as a child. My first recorded song, the first song I wrote was when I was 13 and my first recorded when I was 14. This is far over 50 years ago. And then I was raised in this business. I was all my life there. My father was a composer, my mother was a singer. And I started writing songs when I was 15. And I think when I was 18 years old, I already had written over 150 songs. And then I continued in Paris. I lived in Paris 1 year. I lived in Nashville, Tennessee, together with Roy Orbison and many other people.
Wow.
And I wrote something like 50, 60, 80 songs in Nashville. I wrote songs in France, and then over the years, over 2000.
But are still the songs are, so to say, coming to you? They're just popping up in your...
I don't think that any painter pops up a picture or poet just... No,
it's hard work.
It's some way it's emotions, then it's inspirations, and then it's really hard work. Inspiration is always short.
But then, you need that as a starting
you need the inspiration.
point.
The inspiration was the transformation and then his word, chrysalide, but then you have to think to do it right. And we only have 3 minutes in this. It's a different, if you write a book, you can write many things. I mean, it's like, there's nothing you can really say final in 3 minutes, but the way he did it in these words is beautiful. And we only have 3 minutes. And if you have a theme here, like I did theater 30 years ago, people knew what it was. And when we wrote a little piece 31 years ago, then people knew what the message is. But it's also a question of the artist, you know? If you have no artist, you just start writing songs and look for an artist, which I most of the time did in the last years. But now we had the artist first, so I wrote for her. And I know that she has a long, long way. She has a long way as a jazz singer, a long way, and many evenings where she performs for no money, nothing. It's a hard life, you know. And she had also this life of being from down here and hopefully flying one day over there. And this is a dream which...
And now she's flying actually.
Let's hope so, let's hope. And
even higher than last year.
Well, this is not much harder. We were so down last year that I said, okay, I cannot it's also an obligation for me. If you have an artist and the artist was down, we were all down. I say, come on, I can do better for you. You know?
And this year you are really one of the top favorites.
Your favorites, there is always many favorites. The night is always a deciding, and I was a few times I was third and second, and the winner takes it all, they say.
Oh yeah, that's a well-known song from a former winner of Eurovision Song Contest.
And when I started writing for being in the final was 1974 when ABBA won, and I was there with number 4. And I loved ABBA. It was, and I stood there. We have no chance, but we were fourth, 1974. That's 40 years ago.
I mean, it's incredible.
It's a long time, yes.
And now they open.
So my brain is still working. My bones are a little bit weak now. I'm still trying to fly.
But let's exclude Ein bisschen Frieden and Chrysalid for Eurovision songs. What is your favorite baby of the songs you've written?
I've written this in an interview. Right now it is Chrysalis. You know, it's after 10 years I really think we find something which is emotional, true, and we have the right artist. I had wonderful artists in the last 10, 15 years, but the last real success was in 1999. It was 14 years ago, you know. There was with Mikado, we're giving a party, and there I knew we had a chance, but we finally were at number 3. And the other one was 1904. I mean, in 1994 it was in Jerusalem. You know, Journey to Jerusalem. I loved Journey to Jerusalem. Yeah. And I also loved Corinna May, but she could not make it this evening. And I felt so bad. After that, I didn't want to go anymore. I said, it was so. It took me so deeply in my heart when Corinna May fell somehow down there because she was a great singer too.
Yeah.
She was a great singer too.
What then does it take you to get back up again?
I was very ill. I was very ill a few years ago, and music always brought me back. You know, my wife helped me, and music. And Eurovision is also something. You have 1 year from the last, they say, after the Eurovision is before the Eurovision.
Yeah.
And it keeps you up. You know, it helps me. It helps my health. It helps my youth, and we can't help it. We get older. So what can you do? You know?
For me, I've been growing up with your music, and also when we were down, we listening to what you composed. And
thank you.
And really, that has given us a lot of taking us from deepness to high, and that's really nice and a big honor.
Then I have done a few good things. This makes me happy if you say this. You know, if people get better hearing music, I have had some letter from people who wrote me when they were in the hospital or wherever. And I said, now I feel good. If you say, we wrote a song called many years ago, "Du wirst wieder tanzen gehen." You will start dancing again. And then people said, you helped me so much, you know.
Yes, and that's what music does.
Lass die Sonne in dein Herz, so let the sunshine in your heart. Was also one of those songs where people say, yes, it makes me feel good, I feel better, you know. So at least we've done something, achieved something which is good for other people.
Even if it's not a number 1 position in the Eurovision, but you have caught the hearts of many people around the world with your music.
I've had a lot of children, by the way, with Papa Penguin.
Yes.
This was
which came back in the 2000s
8
somewhere.
or 9 in 1980, but we had children love Papa Penguin, with the little finger, Papa Penguin, in French. You know, I brought that in French because I was also raised in Paris and speak fluently French, and I love to write in other languages, but the singer has to sing in his mother language. Yeah. I think you feel it.
What's in the future for you on music collaboration, maybe with Mauro, or also perhaps going to San Remo with some Italian
music? Makes me start dreaming.
We want you have to have more of your music.
Yes, but you know, our dream is simple. If she has a real good position there, we write an album in the summer. The whole summer we write songs for Valentina. And hopefully she will do well. You know, I wish it for her, really for her. Also for Mauro and me. It's the first time for him in Eurovision. You know, it's the first time that he has this emotional feeling here, and it's very special here.
And hope he comes back as well.
So then we say welcome into the Eurovision family, and to you we say welcome back to the Eurovision family once this year as well. And I also have to say, as a Swedish citizen, welcome to Sweden.
Yes,
hope
I'm
you
very
will have a very
happy
good
here.
time.
I was here in 1992, and we were, I think, number 16 or so. It's a long time ago, but wanted when I heard Malmoe. Oh, great, really. Yeah, Malmoe is just a pretty city here, you know.
Nice.
I like Stockholm, but this is for a Eurovision community. It's more private, you know.
We're gonna
meet. No, but we're gonna meet each other in the roads, you know, and not only in the hotel, which in the big city it's far away, you know. I remember when it was in London, you haven't seen anybody.
Yeah.
No, here we pop into each other all the time.
No, but here it's this nice city here,
nice.
and it's wonderful to be here. Also, this Euro Club is great, you know. It's very, very.
Although it's a slaughterhouse.
And people will feel well here, and that's important.
No, I hope so too.
Thank you
so
for the.
good luck.
Thanks.
And thank you for the nice hosting. We already feel that we arrived yesterday. The hotel is wonderful. Master Johan, what a nice name already. You know? It's very emotional, and I think all this building here, that's what Eurovision is like. It's like
Thank you.
We like it.
I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you very much. It's the truth.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.